Welcome. We're here to talk about symbols important to the judicial branch of government that demonstrate democratic values and constitutional principles. My name is Rachel Dranowski, and I'm the coordinator of the Michigan Supreme Court Learning Center. This is the Hall of Justice, headquarters of Michigan's judicial branch of government. It's a courthouse where decisions that are important to everyone in Michigan are made. The images you'll see, what we call symbols that show important values and principles, are found inside. To start, I want to introduce some keywords and phrases. First, there's judicial branch of government. The branch is made up of courts. It has the power to interpret the law. What does the law mean, and how does it fit in each situation or case? The judicial branch of government bases its decisions on democratic values and constitutional principles. These are basic beliefs about our government and society found in the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and other important writings and speeches. We will study 4 values and principles today: justice, equality, rule of law, and separation of powers. They're important to our society and specifically to the judicial branch of government. They're ideals, the best of what our government and society can do and be. Now, I'll talk about what they mean and use an example. It's a law against texting while driving a vehicle. It's meant to keep people safe on streets and highways. Justice is fairness under the law. It's more specific than fair or unfair. To be just, courts make decisions according to the law. For example, if someone wants to text while driving, they might personally think it's unfair to have to wait. But what does the law say? Equality, the same treatment for all. People should be treated equally, no matter who they are. If someone is texting while driving, it shouldn't matter who. Everyone should be treated the same, and the same consequences for everyone are spelled out in the law. Rule of law. Everyone must follow the law, no matter who they are, even the government. Everyone should understand and follow the no texting and driving law. That keeps people safe. And separation of powers. This limits government through separating powers into 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. When courts interpret the law, they say what it means. For example, you can take a ticket to court. A court would decide what counts as texting under the law for each case. It's sort of like deciding each time whether the ball was in or out when you're playing a game on the playground. These values and principles can be represented by symbols. A symbol is something that stands for something else. For example, if I show you this flag, you probably think United States. It might remind you of places you see the flag, at school or outside another government building. You might feel a particular way when you see it. Courts have important symbols too. They're in our learning center. We'll match them with the 4 values and principles. Here's our entrance to the virtual learning center. You'll see Lady Justice, the statue, and the rule of law exhibit at the back. In the other room, we have a judge's robe and gavel and flags in a model courtroom. We'll start here. Now, if you went to a court near you, it would probably look a little like the courtroom here. There would be places for everyone, including the public like you, and the judge who sits in the highest seat in front. You'd see 2 flags near the judge. That's a rule. As I said, flags are symbols. In a courtroom, flags are a reminder that important decisions are made here, and there are rules everyone must follow. The courtroom represents all 4 values and principles, but I want to talk about equality. In a courtroom, you can expect a judge to be respectful to everyone. That's a rule. The judge will expect everyone to be respectful in return. That's a rule too. It doesn't matter whether a person is accused of a crime, someone has a disagreement they can't work out with someone else, or they're there representing their community as a juror. Everyone should be treated equally. Now, we'll get closer to the blue flag. When you see it, you should say, "This is Michigan." Here's some reasons why. I'll do some slow looking and make a list. There are words in another language, animals, and a shield with a person. The top part of the Michigan flag represents the United States. Your clue is the symbol of the eagle. The rest of the flag are symbols of Michigan. In the middle, you see a person standing on land surrounded on three sides by water. That's a peninsula. And as you know, Michigan is made up of two peninsulas. You might also recognize what we call our coat of arms. It's very similar to the flag. We've had both the coat of arms and the flag since we became a state. There's also something called the Great Seal, and it's on government documents. It has some extra words on it, including those letters that you see at the bottom of the screen. If you've studied Roman numerals, you know that's actually a year. It's 1835. Now you might guess that's when Michigan became a state, but actually it's when we had our first state constitution. We had to adopt constitutional values before we could become a state. Now that we're back in the room, I'd like to get closer to our judge's robe. Did you think judge when you saw it? A black robe is the uniform worn by every judge in Michigan for official business. Once again, that's a rule. Uniforms tell you a lot about someone and their responsibilities. What types of people do you know who wear a uniform? You might think of helpers like firefighters or healthcare workers. You might even wear a uniform for school or on a sports team. It helps you be part of the group. A judge's robe is a symbol of the separation of powers. It shows that judges represent the judicial branch of government. Judges must follow the Constitution to interpret the law, decide what it means by how it's written. For example, with texting and driving, the judge must look at the law to decide whether someone read, typed, or sent a message while driving their vehicle. Now, up in the corner, I'll show you this wood hammer. Did you think judge when you saw it? It's called a gavel. Pounding it gets people's attention. And although judges don't actually use their gavel very often, the symbol reminds you of court too. Now, when we go into the other room, we'll take a look at a symbol that means courts to people around the world. The statue is Lady Justice, and I'm going to do some slow looking and talk about her from top to bottom. In her raised arm, I see a scale or balance for weighing things. Her eyes look straight at the balance, and she holds a sword in her other hand. She is a symbol for justice because it takes a lot to make fairness under law. You need to know the facts. The scale shows courts gather and weigh evidence to decide which side has more facts and should win. Her eyes are only looking at the evidence in the scale. Nothing is distracting her from what happened. Not what people look like or who they are or anything else. Her sword shows that courts have authority to make decisions according to the Constitution. With our texting example, judges look at the words of the law to decide, not whether they personally think it's fair or unfair. Now this is the seal of the Michigan Supreme Court. See Lady Justice in the middle? She's important and a symbol of our courts in Michigan too. Now we have just one last place to visit, and this is our exhibit about the rule of law. To understand this concept better, I want you to think about a favorite game or sport you play. Does it have rules? Do rules help you know what to do? Does everyone have to follow the same rules when they're playing? If you said yes, that's the idea behind the rule of law. Now let's look at the exhibit closely. Do you see the symbol in the middle? That's the Muse of Law. She's a bit like Lady Justice. By now you probably guessed she represents something else. She's sitting on a throne, wearing a crown. She has a tablet with paper in one hand and a rod called a scepter in the other. The tablet with paper has laws written on it. Can you guess what she is? She's a queen or a ruler. Under the rule of law, laws are the ruler, not the whims of a king or queen or any other person. Everyone should know, understand, and follow the same rules or laws every time. This is how the judicial branch makes decisions. It's how everyone, including you, can know and do what's expected of them. Now we're finishing up our gallery walk today. And during our time, We talked about 4 democratic values and constitutional principles: justice, equality, rule of law, and separation of powers, and why they're important to the judicial branch of government. I hope this gallery walk helps you see these values better and understand them, and I hope you look for more symbols around you every day. For more information about the Michigan Supreme Court Learning Center and the judicial branch of government, visit the Michigan Supreme Court Learning Center website. Thank you.